Bob Ewald, our coffee provider for the last year and a half.
Awesome. Well, good morning. Thanks for the introduction, Alex. So I'm Robert Ewald. I'm with Fresh Horizons Coffee Company, and as of January 1st, Fresh Horizons Group. I'll explain that transition here in a few moments. But I was asked to come in and speak on Monday, and being that everybody here is familiar with the weather, I did not have a chance to put together a presentation. So we're just going to go ad lib and kind of bring you up to speed as to what's going on with Fresh Horizons as a brand. So Rob was gracious enough to be able to bring in the website. So Fresh Horizons Coffee Company was founded with the idea of being a fundraising arm for nonprofits and organizations that need to raise money for their cause. We've had really good success with that over the last year, and to the point that we started getting asked about other opportunities or other needs that these organizations had, and we looked for solutions to fill those. But from the website here, you can go in and buy our delicious fresh roasted coffee. And Rob, if you don't mind helping, if you click on organizations, it's the center one. It says start. You can't see it? Okay. So for those of you that are going to access this later, click on organizations, and you can choose an organization to have your purchase help support. And there's between 30 and 40 different local organizations on there that your coffee purchase can help support. So we started with the idea of roasting coffee and being able to provide that to these organizations, because what we saw were organizations were tired of selling the same old stuff, whether it be the puff pastries that we probably all have 3 boxes of in our in the freezer, or the popcorn, or the stuff that we just don't really want or need. And we said, hey, how do we take a coffee brand and bring it to market in a hyper-competitive space? And by enabling organizations to raise money using that, we've been able to break into a market that is really competitive. So that's a little bit of the background on Fresh Horizons. People ask, people that have tried the coffee. Who here has tried the coffee? All right. So it's always great to ask an audience that's drinking our coffee if you've tried it. So, but we oftentimes hear that our coffee is a lot smoother and it's not bitter. And the reason why that is our roasting process. Most big roasters use these huge machines that are called drum roasters, and it's a heavy cast iron machine that almost burns the coffee. Where excuse me. With our process, we use what's called a fluid bed air roaster, and that is like a huge popcorn popper, or a popcorn popper on steroids is like how I like to describe it. And it blows hot air up through that bed of beans, and the hot air is what roasts it. So it makes a very mellow, very smooth drinking coffee. The other part that's really unique about our coffee is that it's 100% organic. So we source our beans through 2 different methods. One from a big importer that a lot of people in the industry use, as well as we go direct to a farm in Honduras and buy coffee through there. So it's all free trade organic through the importer, and what we like to call is direct trade organic through the coffee farm. So it really sets us apart from everybody else out there, and it's way different than the other companies out there that do fundraising with coffee. There's a couple of other ones out there, but they're usually using a blend, where all of ours are single origin, and like I said, they're fair trade organic. So the quality is very high. And so that's a little bit about the coffee. So as we started to develop this and roll this out to organizations, we started to see an issue where these organizations, a lot of them, being that they're nonprofits, they don't have huge teams of people. They're not, they're not the big corporations in the world where they've got a big team of people that can do marketing and that. And we started to see that there was a need, because as much as they believed in our program, they had a hard time reaching their audience. And so we started to develop some methods to help them better reach their audience. So when you become a fundraising partner with us, you get access to a whole bunch of different tools. One of them is that we can create a customized website for your coffee fundraiser, and that enables. And then we also have some marketing tools that come along with that enable you to better reach your audience. So all you have to do is be willing to send an email or make a few posts, and we do most of the work in the background, and that's there to help you as the organization better reach those people. The other thing that we saw was that they do fundraising in other areas, whether it be an event or a sale of another product or something like that. And they started to say, we've had several of them ask, hey, can you guys do this? And I've been a serial entrepreneur for 20 plus years. I said, yes. And everybody that knows me is like, oh my gosh, here we go again. And so this is where Fresh Horizons Group came out. We realized that organizations needed help with event shirts and other promotional products. So we, having had a little bit of background from another company I owned in that space, we said, hey, let's add this in and better serve these organizations. It did two things. It allowed us to better reach or better serve those organizations. It also opened the doors to being able to touch other small to medium-sized businesses as well, and help them with their branding and marketing needs. So a little bit about how Fresh Horizons Group works is that we like to try and we first are targeting and working with our fundraising organizations. That's our primary. We want to be as much of an all-inclusive provider for them as possible. So it started off really, really simply. We started off with a single shirt for an organization, and this one here is "Coffee keeps me going until it's time for wine." Any women here relate to that? Yeah. So that one was really, really popular. And then keeping with the coffee theme, we had organizations saying, "Hey, we want to." This was around the Christmas time, Thanksgiving, Christmas. It said, "Hey, we want to give some gifts to our members," and so they were looking for a high quality mug that we could do. And we started off with an offering of these where they're personalized for the organization. And then we brought on the brand called SIC. SIC is a brand of tumblers that's on par with Yeti. I'd say same quality or better, but in much more beautiful colors. So this is the rose gold that's been really popular among the women. And then this is the driftwood, which has been really popular among the guys. So we started offering those, and these we have a partner company that we work with that does laser engraving, so everything can be personalized and customized to that organization. Everything that we do is really high quality. We're not trying to compete with the person that needs the $2 T-shirt. That's as much as we can provide those. That's not our niche, because that doesn't represent your organization very well. Right? So if you give away a $2 shirt or you give away some really cheap thing, that's a representation of your organization. And we don't want to make you look bad. So we work with really high quality products, and we do some really unique things that are different than a lot of other places out there. If you guys were to come up and feel this is a super soft shirt. Super comfortable, and it's a fit that is great for women. Something else that's a really popular trend are leggings. All the women in the audience, who here has a pair of leggings? Yeah, nearly everybody, right? So when an organization puts their name down the side of that, it just became a great branding piece and something that they're already wearing. So we're looking for different trends that allow us to better help them tell their story, to help them better market their organization. I came from a background of owning a bunch of different businesses, and a company that I'd owned previously was a company called Lights and Safety Depot. Back in, I think it was about 8 or 9 years ago, when the economy really turned, we went through a bad time and we ended up closing that company. But we had a very loyal, very strong customer following. What we did there was we sold high-vis apparel and warning lights to organizations in the safety and municipal industries. Because of our relationships with some of our suppliers, we now have the ability to carry the high-vis apparel again through Fresh Horizons Group. So we're able to touch those people again as well. Fresh Horizons Group has a ton of potential, and then when you couple it with Fresh Horizons Coffee as a fundraising organization, we can really help these organizations raise money for their cause and better tell their story through high quality products and things that will really well represent their organization. So that's a little bit of what we have going on. One of the questions that I always get asked is, how did you start this? And it started because I'm a serial entrepreneur, and we happened to come across a great idea, and I said, why not? And I think that's the simple of it, right? I was willing to take a risk and willing to take a chance to do something that could really make an impact. And from what we're seeing with the organizations that we're working with, we are, and that's what's so exciting about all of this. So I'm happy to answer questions and make up more stories.
Well, first we're going to